Late one night, two paranormal investigators are exploring a cemetery in Mexico when suddenly they capture something terrifying.
No tengo miedo absoluto. Te pido que te manifiestes. No seas mamón, güey. Allá, acá.
Fue acá abajo, como.
Acá abajo, güey. No mames. Alguien corrió, güey. ¿Escuchaste? No mames. Dime qué es lo que quieres, niño. Vete a la chingada. ¿Qué chingados?
The paranormal investigators are at a cemetery in Mexico supposedly haunted by a jinn. Seemingly nothing occurs early on in their investigation. However, one of them then decides to call out to the spirit, asking it to manifest itself. As soon as he does this, loud footsteps can be heard nearby which aren't coming from the investigators as they were both standing still.
Te pido que te manifiestes. No seas mamón, güey.
Spooked, the investigators back away and catch their bearings before attempting to communicate to the spirit once again. This time, one of them asks the spirit what it wants. And once again, shortly after this, they get a response.
Dime qué es lo que quieres, niño. Vete a la chingada.
As a voice of a child can be heard saying, "My mom." Terrified, the investigators have seen enough and they leave the cemetery, leaving us and these paranormal investigators to wonder, what exactly have they captured taking place at this cemetery? And is this footage proof that the cemetery in Mexico is truly haunted by a jinn?
Dime qué es lo que quieres, niño. Vete a la chingada.
A man is home alone in his apartment when suddenly something bizarre starts occurring.
Do it again. Do it again. Think. Do it again. Jesus fucking Christ. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. This... All right. All right, fuck that. Do it again. Do it again. Okay.
A Reddit user on the r/ghost subreddit would upload footage that their ex's girlfriend had sent them that was recorded by her boyfriend while he was alone in his apartment. The footage starts with the man recording a door to the room he's in as he repeatedly says, "Do it again." When suddenly, after asking 3 times, the door would slowly start closing, seemingly on its own.
Do it again. Jesus fucking Christ.
The man then turns on the lights, showing that there is no one else in the room besides him. The door would continue to open on its own as the man repeatedly says, "Do it again." Commenters would be divided on whether the door seen opening on its own is a result from a draft in the home or something genuinely paranormal. However, the OP would add some chilling context to the footage. Okay, here's some context. My ex's girlfriend just sent me the video today. She's at her mom's while her boyfriend is at the apartment by himself. Their buddy Dylan was coming into town to visit him for his birthday, but decided to go to a party the day before. He had been sober for years but decided to smoke a joint at the party. Someone laced the joint with and he passed out. Nobody called an ambulance until it was too late. When paramedics were finally called, he was already brain dead. He was kept on life support but passed away shortly after. My ex was the last one to visit him in the hospital. Then, this happened. I've never been a believer in ghosts, but this one is creepy. I can't deny it. The dude isn't one to make it up for views. He hates social media. They weren't going to share it, but I wanted to. So, they gave me permission. Maybe he is pulling a string. If he is, he got me good this time, because I got chills from watching this. Leaving us in this terrified OP to wonder, what exactly has he captured taking place in his apartment? And could this be the spirit of the man who died, making his presence known in this apartment?
Do it again. Do it again.
A family would be reviewing footage from a camera placed in their living room, when suddenly they would notice something eerie. A Reddit user on the r/ghost subreddit would upload pictures that their grandparents took from footage on their living room camera. The OP explains that when he was at a Thanksgiving dinner with his family, his grandfather showed him a few pictures on a CCTV camera placed in their living room. In the first picture, we can see the grandfather's living room. However, if we look towards the right side of the living room, we can see what looks like the silhouette of a person's head peeking out from behind the grandfather's back. However, things only continue to get more eerie, as in the second photo only moments after the first photo was taken. We can see that the grandfather is nowhere to be seen in the living room. However, a more clear figure can be seen walking across the living room. The figure appears translucent and to be that of a little girl. The third photo shows the figure of the little girl even more clear, as she appears to be peeking out from behind a door and facing away from the camera. We can make out her clothing and her hair. What makes these photos even creepier is that the grandparents live alone. So who exactly is this little girl? Could this be a clever trick, mistaken identity, or something genuinely paranormal taking place in their home? Late one night, a couple would be sleeping soundly as a camera records their bedroom, when suddenly something eerie would be captured. As the camera records the couple sleeping, seemingly nothing occurs. However, things would quickly take a paranormal turn as a tall, dark shadow can be seen appearing in the right corner of the bedroom, only to then slowly move towards the end of the bed as the woman suddenly gets aggressively pulled off the bed. The shadow is nowhere to be seen as the couple is thoroughly spooked. The dark figure doesn't seem to be that of a person, as it appears to be translucent and doesn't cast a shadow as it moves across the room, which is a common characteristic of a spirit, leaving us and this couple to wonder what exactly has been captured taking place in the middle of the night. And is the dark figure captured in their bedroom simply something more mundane, or a sinister spirit making its presence known? Before we move on to our last frightening clip, make sure you're subscribed so you can stay in the loop for the latest frightening findings. And while you're at it, give the like button a spook and check out some other scary videos I showcase on this channel. Now, let's continue. Late one night, a family would be enjoying their trip in a recreational park. However, their vacation would suddenly take an eerie turn. A Reddit user on the r/paranormal encounter subreddit would upload footage taken from a park ranger in a recreational park in Guatemala. The OP explains that during a family trip in a beautiful park in Guatemala, they bumped into a park ranger at the end of a trail, and during their conversation with the park ranger, he would show them footage he took in the middle of the night after hearing what sounded like dogs howling in the park. In the footage, the camera records an empty trail lit up by a single light pole placed at the entrance to a patch of woods. We can hear what sounds like a group of dogs barking and howling as a bizarre white figure emerges from the woods and slowly makes its way towards the light pole, followed by what sounds like the distressing cry from a woman. The figure appears to be a woman wearing a long white dress. The figure could simply be a person lost in the middle of the night looking for help. However, the cry from the woman and her long white dress resemble that of the spirit of La Llorona, which is a story of a woman driven to ending her life after drowning her children. And legend says that she still roams the earth, forever looking for, and more specifically, crying out for her lost children. Many accounts of sightings of the spirit describe hearing her horrifying cries before seeing her appear in a long white dress, leaving us in this OP to wonder, what exactly has been captured by this park ranger? And does this footage show the spirit of the infamous La Llorona roaming in the middle of the night?